So, what's up guys? Good morning. Good morning sa ating lahat. Okay? So, today is it's already quarter to 9 in the morning. So, I would like to welcome you once again. Welcome you back in my YouTube channel, Teacher Dex, Channel TV. So, last time I've already presented with you the different types of chemical reactions. But this time, I'd like to present to you how are we going to balance chemical equations? What are the rules in balancing chemical equations? And that's what we're going to tackle this morning. So, what are the rules of balancing chemical equation? In order to balance the chemical equation, you need to make sure the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side must always be equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. In order make both sides equal, you will need to multiply the number of atoms in each element until both sides are equal. What do we call the number of what do we call the number that we're going to multiply? And that's what we call the coefficient number. So let us try to see what are the rules. Number one, you may only add coefficients when balancing chemical equations. Okay, coefficients are the number that go in front of a molecule. Second, coefficients do not go in the middle of a molecule. They always must go in front of the entire molecule. Third, you may never ever add subscript or parenthesis or anything other than a coefficient to a chemical equations to balance it. Next, you may never change numbers that are already part of a chemical formula to balance it. Mahirap pong palitan. In case you are going to change it, you are committing a wrong balancing equation. Fifth, balance the number of atom of each element in the chemical equations one at a time. Hindi pwedeng pagsabay-sabayin. Okay, tingnan mo muna kung ano yung kailangan mong balansehing una. Okay? And the last rule, express the balance equation in the lowest term. Why? Because we can also balance chemical equations in the highest term. But it is wrong. It should always be expressed in a lowest term. So here is the first equation that we are going to balance. So first we're going to make our RAP. When we say RAP, R stands for reactants, A stands for atoms, and P stands for product. So what are you going to do? Identify the elements of the given equation. So first thing, we have to arrange the element based on the arrangement on the reactant. So we have K, H, we have also the SO. So this is for the side of the product. This is for the side of the reactants. Let us count the number of atoms in each, in the product and in the reactant. So in reactant, potassium is 1, hydrogen is 2, sulfur is 1, and oxygen is 4. And for our product, we have here potassium is 2, sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4, and hydrogen is 2. So it's very basic that the potassium is the only element which is not balanced. So what are you going to do? We have to use coefficient number as number 2. So potassium becomes 2. So it's very basic. Try to look at it. Potassium 2 and 2. Hydrogen is 2 and 2. Sulfur is 1 and 1. And oxygen is 4 and 4. So meaning this is already balanced. So this is our equation number one, which is a very simple way, very basic to balance. Okay, so ayan po, our second equation. Let us try to identify the elements present. So we have carbon, sulfur, and we have chlorine. This is for the product. This is for the reactant. So let us count the number of atoms in each side. So this carbon is 1, sulfur is 2, chlorine is 2. For the product, we have carbon is 1, sulfur is 2, and chlorine is 6. So we have here 4 plus 2 for chlorine, that is 6. So very basic. So what are you going to do? Here is what we're going to add our coefficient number. There is already 2. So we will use 3 as our coefficient number. So 3 times 2 becomes 6. So we have already our balance equation now. So carbon is 1, sulfur is 2, chlorine is 6. And this is already balanced. So for our second equation. So here is our third equation that we are going to balance. So may kahabaan po yung equation, but let us try to see how we're going to make it simple as it is. So as what I've told you, we must always identify the elements, no, present from the reactants to product. So let us try to write down the elements. So first we have the mercury, we have the N, O, we have H, S, C, N. Okay? So let us try to count the number of elements per side. So mercury in the reactant is 1, nitrogen is 3, 4. So 1, 2 plus 2, so we have 4. So oxygen is 6. Hydrogen is 4. Sulfur is 1. And we have carbon is also 1. And nitrogen is, so that is already counted na po. So wala na po tayong nitrogen dyan. So we have here sa product, so we have 1 for mercury. Nitrogen is 2 plus 1 plus, that is 4. We have also our oxygen. Oxygen is 3. We have our hydrogen is 4. And we have our sulfur is 2. And carbon is also 2. So we can say now, we can easily balance it now by doing it here. So, mayroon tayong, this is 2. So, nitrogen is 2 plus 2, 4 plus, 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 6. Okay, so hydrogen is already 8. Okay, sulfur is 2 and carbon is 2. Okay, so nitrogen 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, that is 6. So here, what are we going to do now? We are going to have here 2 also. We are going to use the coefficient number, which is 2. So for the nitrogen, 2 times plus 2, 4 plus 2, that is 6 also. For the hydrogen, 2 times 4, that is 8 also. For our sulfur, for our oxygen, 2 times 3, that is 6. So we have already our balance equation. So 1, 6, 6, 8, Okay? Then 2, 2, these are pare-pareho lang po yan with the product. So it's very basic equation. Okay? So this is our final equation, balance equation. So this is already our third equation that we balance. So here is our next equation. If you notice, I have already indicated the coefficient number to balance it. No, this is my take 3 to record this equation kasi kanina, una at pangalawa, kala ko naka-open yung camera, hindi pa rin pala. So, let us do it. So, identify the elements. So, we have C, H, O. So, count the number of atoms in each side. Originally, so carbon is 5, hydrogen is 12, oxygen is 2. Here, 1, 2, 3. So, ginamitan ko po sila ng coefficient number. So, yung carbon becomes 5, hydrogen becomes 12. 6 times 2, that is 12. Okay? For the oxygen, 5 times 2, okay, 10. Then 6 times 1, 6. 6 plus 10, that is 16. So I used 8 as the coefficient number for the oxygen in the reactant. So 8 times 2, so we have 16. So we have already our balance equation. Okay? Our balance equation for this problem. Okay? So here is the last equation that we are going to balance. So we have lead nitrate plus sodium iodide gives you the lead iodide plus sodium nitrate. So this is the last equation that we're going to balance. So first thing to do, we have to identify the elements in the equation. So we have lead, we have nitrogen, we have oxygen, sodium, and we have iodine. So let us count the number of atoms in each element. So lead is 1 here in the reactant. So lead is 1, nitrogen is 2, oxygen is 6, our sodium is 1, iodine is also 1. Let's count in the product. So lead is 1, nitrogen is 1, oxygen is 3, sodium is 1, and iodine is 2. So what are we going to do now? So here we're going to use the coefficient number, which is 2. So sodium becomes 2, nitrogen becomes 2, oxygen becomes 6. So what are you going to do again? So here we are going to use 2 for the reactants. So becomes sodium becomes 2 and iodine becomes 2. So we have already our balance equation. So this is our balance equation. So, ayan guys, maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat po. That is our topic today, how to balance chemical equation. And I have already presented also with you the rules of balancing chemical equations. Sa lahat po ng mga bago ngayon dito sa aking YouTube channel, do not forget to like, comment down, and subscribe my YouTube channel, Teacher Dex Channel TV. At sa mga bago talaga, of course, do not forget to press the notification bell for you to receive the updates of my videos. God bless everyone, and thank you so much.